Here's a controversial hot take on who should have been Ghostface in Scream 7. And obviously, spoiler warning, it's Gale. Now, I know this might not be a popular choice, but hear me out. Gale actually does have some semblance of motive in this one. Because in Scream 5, she loses Dewey, who is arguably the most important person to her out of this entire franchise. And then in Scream 6, she goes to deal with the Ghostface killings in New York by herself, and Sydney can't really be bothered to help. Now, is it understandable that Sydney wanted nothing to do with these killings that didn't really have anything to do with her? Yeah, it's understandable. But would it track that way to Gale? You see, because for Gale, they've been involved with this since the very first Ghostface killings. And then with this latest set of killings, Sydney doesn't show up for Gale when she's arguably at her lowest point. And not only is she at a total low point, she gets brutalized in Scream 6. And there are multiple times in this new film where Gale brings up Sydney's absence. And honestly, I feel like if you're at the 7th installment of a slasher franchise, you need to start taking big swings. Especially when you spent the last 2 movies building up a storyline only for that to crumble in your hands because you fired your actress. And I mean, shoot, you can even fold in elements of this new film that they already had. For example, with the deepfake Stu stuff, Gale knows exactly what she can say about Sydney's past that's going to get to her. Because at this point, she probably knows Sydney better than anybody else. And on top of that, they even had a cool way they could have done the reveal. Because it's shown that Gale has this hand tremor now where she shakes because of how badly she was hurt in the last movie. And you could have had a point where Ghostface has somebody at knife point, Sydney's there confronting them, and all of a sudden she notices the knife shaking. And I'm telling you, the theater would absolutely lose it at that point. And you could have it be 2 people responding to trauma in different ways, where Gale just kind of snaps and confronts it head on, whereas Sydney kind of puts it in a box and leaves it alone. And yeah, I know it's probably not a super popular take because Gale has been around since Scream 1. Like I said, at this point with a franchise like this, I'd rather them take a huge swing and a miss than just grab 2 random tertiary characters that nobody really cared about in this movie and make them Ghostface. So yeah, that's kind of my rant. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Maybe you have a different idea for Ghostface. And if you like talking movies like this, drop me a follow.